Alright, hello everyone, my name is Matthew from Balloon Enterprises, and I'm going to show you today is a very cool puppy hat. It's also known as Pluto. Now, what you can do is you can take a gold 260 balloon, which is again 2 inches by 60 inches, and you're going to inflate the balloon approximately until it has a 1-inch tail. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to form our hat base for the puppy hat. Again, starting with the nozzle end of the balloon, where you made the tie. You're going to do about a hand's length, and again twisting away from you, keeping the same direction of where you're twisting. The balloon I usually will twist, I'll have this balloon in my hand, and then with the longer part of the balloon, I'll use that as the balloon that I twist, so twisting with my right hand, twisting away from me. Okay, so I've got one hand bubble, it's about the size of my hand, or it could be the size of your hand. You just use the hand as a measurement guide for this balloon. So going back to our pinch twist that we did in our other video, you're going to make a small bubble, approximately 1 inch size, again twisting away from me with my right hand. So now I've got a small bubble up here, and I'm going to pull that bubble up, and then I'm going to twist that bubble, again going away from me, until I get that small little pinch twist, and twist it away from you about 5 or 6 times just to make sure it's nice and locked in place. And it might come undone. If it does come undone, just go back over and do the pinch twist again. So now you need a second bubble. So this is the one eyepiece right here, and this is the second eyepiece on the other side. You're going to make the third bubble here approximately the same size as the first bubble that you made. So again, using your hand as a guide. Now what you're going to do, you've got your nozzle piece here in my right hand, and I'm going to wrap the nozzle piece to connect these two bubbles together so they're sitting right flat on top of each other. The two hand-sized twists. And to lock in place, I'm going to take the nozzle and wrap it between the two, which are going to be the eyepieces for the puppy hat. So now we're going to move on to the nose part. We're going to do approximately a 2-inch bubble, approximately this size. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a second bubble, exactly the same size. And then you're going to take the rest of your balloon, you're going to twist it right into that point there. And what you should end up with is 2 larger bubbles exactly the same size with the pinch twist on top, and then 2 smaller bubbles which are going to be the nose. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lengthen it again with my hands, again taking my thumb and my pointer finger, stretch out the balloon, just pulling it in the opposite direction. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight from this end. I've got the head of the puppy right to this end here, where I've got no tip, no axis balloon there. It's fully inflated at this point because I've pushed all the air to the end of the balloon. I'm going to twist approximately 2.5 to 3-inch bubble, again going away from me with my right hand. And what I'm going to do, so holding that bubble in place, I'm going to take the bubble, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the nose piece and the eyepiece go right in between the two with the long 2.5 to 3-inch bubble, just like so. And this is going to be forming the mouth. So this is the bottom jaw for the puppy. You should end up with something like that. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the nose and the ears. And what you do is you take your chocolate brown or black 260, whatever you prefer. And again, it could be color coordinated with the colors. If they want pink and purple, do maybe a pink hat with a purple nose and purple ears. So what I'm going to do is we've got the nozzle end in my left hand here, which should be this end, okay. And I'm going to go right to the other end where there is no nozzle on the balloon, and I'm going to take about a 2-inch piece, and I'm going to tie about 2 inches down, to 1 inch down. About 1 inch usually works fine. I'm going to tie that off right there. So now what you have is you have that knot right about 2 inches from the end of the balloon, or the tip of the balloon, the very end. And I'm going to cut it off right at that point. So you got your knot on this side of the scissors, and you have the rest of that end on that side. And I'm actually going to set the nose piece right to the side. The tiny piece is going to be our nose piece. I'm going to set that right there. So I've got the long balloon. Again, I've got the nozzle, which is a piece you put on the gold tip of the inflator. And then I've got a tied off part, which would have been the end of the balloon, or the tip of the balloon originally. So putting the knot, the nozzle end onto the pump, I'm going to inflate approximately a 4 or 5 inch amount of air into the chocolate brown or black 216. And I'm going to tie that off. Just like so. So you can either do this in 1 or 2 ways. I'm going to show you both ways on how to do this. But first off, we're going to twist the balloon that is inflated right in half. Again, I'm twisting away from me with my right hand. Into 2 symmetrical bubbles. So now what you're going to do is you're going to hold that pinch. You're going to force the end of the balloon while moving your left hand up. Until you have 2 ears. Now another way you can do this, you can use your mouth to do this. It's a pretty cool trick if you're comfortable about doing it. Again, going back to the point where you have 2 bubbles. And you can actually put, so this is the nozzle end, and this is the end where I made that original tie where the nose piece would have been. I'm going to take the one end, and actually I'm going to put the one end in my mouth, and I'm actually going to suck on it, and you push the chocolate brown, the bubble, while holding on to the twist here. You're going to push on that bubble until it starts to inflate your mouth. It's going to inflate a little bit in your mouth, and at that point you're going to take it out of your mouth, and you're going to push the rest of the air from the middle bubble here, and it will form the second ear. So just like so. You might have to watch it a couple times, or again, go back to the part where I twisted it in half and then I forced the air up the balloon to the end. Okay, so with ending up with 2 ears, it's going to take a little bit of practice. You're going to go back to the point where you have the pinch twist at the top of the puppy, taking it right in the middle between the 2 chocolate brown bubbles. You're going to twist around the pinch twist, wrap it around. Take the pinch twist and then wrap it between the 2 eyes. Now what's happened to me is I'm actually lost the sign, so this is a perfect opportunity for me to show you guys how to fix the puppy head. With more practice, you'll be able to fix these balloons backwards and forwards, and just practice it 3 or 4 times before actually doing the test. Now what you're going to do, I'm actually going to take a second gold 260 now. You don't need this unless you've had a broken balloon on the balloon, in which case I have. It's in the eye. That is a losing air on me. I'm going to, all you need is a small bubble for this fix. And you know what, I'm going to decide to put the point right there and wrap it around that nose part. This is again the nose being the 2 smaller bubbles. I've lost my eye right here. So actually I'm going to bring that piece right to the back. And just wrap the gold 260 around the pinch twist. Just like so. I'm going to show you to break off the balloon. I'm going to take the balloon, put my thumb into where it's a little bit blown up. There's a little bit of air between the 2 fingers, and again you can take your scissors if you'd like. And I'm actually going to break that off by holding my position with my left arm and pushing with my right arm to break off the balloon, so you don't need scissors. If you can perfect that, it will definitely help you be able to twist balloons in the long run much quicker. So I'm just going to tie that off. And again, you only have to put that second gold balloon in there if it is a broken balloon, which does happen from time to time. Now what you need a red or a pink 6-inch heart. You don't inflate the heart. All you're going to do is you're going to take the nozzle end of the heart. So you got lots of pink or red tongue left over. This is going to be the tongue for the puppy. And you've got the jaw piece here. You've got the 2 bubbles for the nose right there that I'm pointing to. And you're going to take the nozzle end of the heart and wrap it around the jaw for the puppy hat. Just like so. So you should have a dangling heart right there. That's going to be, again, the tongue piece. So you want quite a bit of tongue sticking out as much as possible. Now taking the nose piece again, that piece that I took off of the chocolate brown balloon, the little axis part, again with the tip, there should be a bit of a tip there, and an open piece here where I can inflate the balloon. So I'm going to bring it all the way up. And it's going to be a little bit difficult, so give it a little bit of force. You're going to end up with maybe a 2 to 3 inch piece. All you need is about an inch for the nose. So you're going to twist that away from you again. And this is the tip end. So there's no knot here, there's no ties, no nozzle. And there you go. So you're going to let it go while holding on to that bubble so you don't lose a small little bubble. And you're going to tie it off. Just like so. So now you've got a little nose. Again, it's like a 1-inch bubble. And so that nose piece here, so you got the 2 eyes, you got the ears, and then you got this part here, the jaw, and then the nose is right in the middle here. So what you want to do, you got 2 bubbles here, and you can see that little twist that separates the 2 bubbles. You're going to take the axis balloon of the nose, and you're going to wrap it around between the 2 nose pieces a couple of times to lock it in place, and then you have your nose locked in place and it won't come off with any force. And just correcting that tongue, putting it in position. You should end up with something just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the artwork for the puppy. I'm going to take a black clicker Sharpie. This is small, it's not a point, it's a pointed tip. It's called a fine tip. It's a retractable Sharpie, so you don't have to deal with the cap. Highly recommend this one over the ones with the cap because you constantly have to pry the cap off. In this case, I just have to click it and I don't have to worry about the cap. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw 6 on the left side of the eye. My left, which would be your right. Or actually just take the left bubble, the left eye bubble, your left. And you're just going to draw 6. Just like that. And now what you can do with the right hand bubble, the right eye, is you're going to do it in the opposite direction, so an opposite of a 6. So you got 2 little circles here, and what you're going to do is you're just simply going to fill them in with your black Sharpie. To end it with 2 eyes that look like just like that. And now with the nose piece, you're going to draw 3 small dots to be kind of like a whisker. So you got on the right side of the nose, and on the other bubble, do the same thing. Alright, and just retracting my Sharpie there. Alright, so here's the puppy hat. It goes on the child's head. Just like so. We got our ears, our eyes, our nose piece, our tongue, and our bottom jaw. There you guys go. Well, thank you so much for watching our Pluto video.